Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I hope that you all had a fantastic weekend. So to start with, I would like to thank all of you for the positivity and kindness that you showed me in last week's Get Ready With Me. It was my first time putting myself out there on the internet with all of my personal issues and whatnot, and I was absolutely prepared for negativity, and that isn't what I saw at all. You guys were very kind. It sounded like a lot of you guys could really relate with the things that I was saying, and for that reason I'm very glad that I put myself out there and made some of you feel a little less alone. So with that, today's Get Ready With Me, I am going to be doing all e.l.f. I finally have an e.l.f. product in every single category, so we are gonna go ahead and get started. I will list in the description all of the products that I am using and let you know also what I am thinking of them. So in my Get Ready With Me last week, I talked about the possibility of adding some nutrition videos into my channel, and so I actually on Friday filmed a recipe video, and it would be great if you guys could all go back and watch that and let me know what you thought of it. It definitely is different and doesn't have a whole lot to do with beauty. I mean, I guess health and beauty are very intertwined, but it's not a makeup video, so it's a little different, and just kind of want to know what you guys thought of it and think of me adding that in as a regular thing. I do want to talk real quick about the brush that I'm going to be using. This is the e.l.f. Ultimate Kabuki brush, and it was sent to me as a free gift with my last order. I got this and some eyeshadow and a lip lacquer and a bronzer, a couple things. I don't remember right now. I'll take a picture of them all and post them on my Instagram. But anyway, this Kabuki, it's really dense and it's very big, so I thought that this might work well actually for foundation, and it absolutely does. So if you are looking for a foundation brush that might be kind of like one of the Artiste brushes, or it's probably closer to one of the Artiste brush knockoffs than the actual Artiste brush. Honestly, I've never used any of them, so I don't know. But it works really well. It left me without any streaks and just like a really even layer of foundation. I'm super duper happy with it. And it's way faster than using a regular brush or a beauty blender or something like that. And it's really, really soft too, which is nice. Some of the foundation brushes can feel a little bit rough, but this is not. It's just really, really soft. And I'm also using with this the e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation. I finally got it in my color. Their colors are a little bit weird. Normally, in most brands, I'm like 2 up from the lightest shade, but the 2 up from the lightest shade in the e.l.f. Flawless Finish was so dark, it was ridiculous. Works great as a contour for me, but not as a foundation. So I got their lightest shade, and it's pretty perfect. When summertime rolls around, I can add a little bit of the darker shade to that one. and that'll be good. Okay. So the last couple of weeks here, it actually started warming up and the snow was starting to melt and I was getting really excited and it was feeling really springy, and then right now it's snowing again. Every time this time of year it does this and I get so excited for spring, and then spring never actually shows up. It's very, very frustrating because I pull out all of my springtime clothes and I get so excited and start dressing like it's a lot warmer than it is. And then it gets cold again and I have to reacclimate to that cold. It's just so hard. So everyone, I just realized that I lied. This isn't fully e.l.f. My under eye concealer is not going to be e.l.f. It is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, because that is what I use and nothing else seems to work quite as well. So sorry about my lies, but it's a very, very good under eye concealer. And I'm sure e.l.f. probably has a great under eye concealer too. Honestly, I am just too afraid to switch to anything else because this stuff works so well. I am sure that anyone who watches my videos regularly has noticed that my hair is now red instead of brunette. I actually took a huge risk and Henna'd my hair. And I love the way it turned out. The camera doesn't quite show it true to the color that it actually is. It's just a really, really gorgeous auburn. I really, really like it. It is an absolutely beautiful color, and it made my hair so soft and smooth and shiny. If you don't know, henna actually is, if you get the real stuff, not anything with the chemicals in it, I'll link down below to what I got if you're interested. If you get the real stuff, it's actually super duper healthy for your hair. It's a conditioning treatment, and it helps to bind to your hair and lay the cuticle down or something, so it really protects it. The only issue is that you will have a hard time with a chemical dye after using henna because of the way that it binds to your hair. It like attaches to the proteins. So it's a little bit more of a permanent thing. I was reading some stuff about it online and somebody said like, you don't flirt with henna, you marry it, which is probably absolutely true. I haven't noticed a lot of fading in color. I have dyed my hair red many times in my life, all through high school pretty much. I was a redhead, and I've always noticed in the first couple of weeks a significant amount of fading, and I haven't noticed that with the henna, which is really great. It still looks just as pretty, and it's really, really multi-dimensional because it attaches to each strand a little bit differently, so you end up with these beautiful highlights in your hair, and when the sun hits it, it just kind of like sparkles and gleams. It's so pretty. If you like red hair, if you want to be a redhead, and that's like what you're really just gonna stick with, I highly suggest going with henna. It is so pretty and good for your hair, but it stinks really bad. It's a really bad smell, and you do have to spend all day with it in your hair. It takes a few hours, as opposed to a chemical dye that, you know, you leave in for like a half an hour or whatever. This one, I left in my hair for about 5 hours, and the color payout was absolutely wonderful. The brand that I used, I think, was a really good brand. I think it was really fresh henna because it did release the dye really quickly, which I guess is a sign of good fresh henna. So I highly recommend the brand I got. I can absolutely vouch for it, at least the batch that I got from that brand. And it doesn't have any chemicals in it. It's all just pure henna. It's been like triple sifted, so it's a really nice fine powder. There are no twigs in it, no rocks, which is like actually a real issue with henna. I've done it once before. I got a box of henna from my beauty supply store, and it really didn't work very well. And it had like these big old twigs and rocks and stuff that were really hard to rinse out of my hair and made spreading it through my hair really difficult. But this doesn't have it. It was just really nice and smooth. So as part of my effort to start eating healthier and lose weight and whatnot, I am avoiding saturated fats and really high carbohydrate foods. I'm not avoiding any vegetables, whether they're high carbohydrate or low carbohydrate or whatever, except for potatoes. I'm just kind of not counting the carbohydrates in my vegetables because I feel like that would just make me crazy and I would never eat anything at all. So anyway, I'm avoiding saturated fats, which has kind of turned me into a bit of a vegan. I haven't been a vegan since my early 20s. And even then I think I was a vegetarian. I don't remember. I went through phases. But right now, my goal isn't necessarily to avoid meat and dairy, it's to avoid saturated fat, which is in meat and dairy. Anyway, so I'm kind of curious if any of you have any good resources for eating vegan and low carb. It's kind of difficult. I find that people in recipes tend to replace their carbs with animal-based proteins. So eggs, or they'll just kind of fill up on meat to replace those carbs that they would normally be eating. It's a little tricky because I want to make sure that I'm still getting good nutrition, but all of the studies show that low carb and low saturated fat diets will give you the longest lifespan. Those people have the best health, the lowest rate of obesity and heart disease and diabetes. And that all sounds really great to me, but like I said, I'm just having a little bit of trouble there. It's so hard to try and avoid the things that the studies are showing us are not good for you and will lead to heart disease. Seems like heart disease is such a big, huge issue right now. And so by reducing these problem foods, I'm reducing my options so much that all I have left are plant-based foods, and I'm not a big processed food person, so like meat substitutes, like the corn meat substitutes or Morningstar or something like that, I'm just not a huge fan. So that's not really an option for protein. And when I was a vegetarian before or a vegan before, I always ate really badly. It's like, well, this junk food is vegan, so I can eat that. or I would get like the vegan bars or the Morning Star or the corn or something like that. Just really, really highly processed foods, and because of that I was always way less healthy on a vegan diet. But I'm trying not to do that this time around. So any suggestions would be appreciated. So I'm really excited because the middle of next month, Journey is coming to town, and we have tickets, third row. We get to go see Journey live. Such an exciting thing. I love Journey. Always have. Asia was supposed to be the first act, but I guess that a few weeks ago the lead singer died, so I don't know what is going to be happening in that regard. I don't know if there's just not going to be an opening act, or if they are planning on finding somebody different, or what. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I am really, really excited for this concert. Now we just have to find a babysitter because the concert is on a Wednesday, which is a school night, and that really kind of limits our options. I have always been a really big fan of classic rock, so getting to go to a classic rock concert is such an exciting thing for me, because a lot of the bands that I love, a lot of the members are dead, so I can't really go and see any other concerts, or they're all just too old and they're not touring anymore. It's really disappointing. One band that I would love to see live is Eagles. Oh my goodness, their music is just wonderful. And of course, I would have loved to be able to see Nirvana in concert. I was really young when Kurt Cobain died, but I was still old enough that growing up through middle school and high school, they still played a lot of Nirvana on the radio and stuff, and so I listened to it and got their albums and everything, and just, I've always loved them as long as I can remember, and they're just a band that I'll never get to see in concert, and that makes me so sad. There are a few of those. I grew up with my dad listening to the Grateful Dead, and so I like the Grateful Dead a lot. I'm really just a huge fan of classic rock. So e.l.f., when I got that free gift, they sent me this eyelash curler that supposedly is like new and improved and is supposed to curl your eyelashes better, so I am going to give that a try. I can see what they're saying. It is a bit more of a like broader curl than a sharp curl like some of them can be, but I don't really think it's anything super revolutionary. It's fine though. Right now, my boyfriend and I are watching a show called Californication, and it is so funny. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it or watched it. Let me know in the comments if you have. I had never heard of it before he introduced it to me, and it is just the funniest show. I am loving watching it. It's definitely one of those inappropriate shows that if you have kids, you wait until they are in bed to start watching it. But super funny. One of those really light shows, you know, doesn't really leave you with a cliffhanger, so when you're done watching it, it's easy to just be done. They are like half an hour long, but they manage to fit a lot into that half an hour. And it's not your like average comedy show. It's not that light. There is a bit of like drama to it, and you do look forward to watching the next episode, and you do kind of have to watch them in sequence to know what's going on. But super funny show. Really recommend it to anyone if they have not watched it. So are there any good shows that you guys have watched that have ended that you recommend? We like to wait until the show is over to start watching it. That way we can binge watch it without ever catching up. We thought that Grey's Anatomy had enough seasons that we could maybe watch it without catching up, because we only have a couple of hours every night to watch our TV shows. But sure enough, we caught up, and we regretted going against our usual decision to wait for a show to be canceled. So if you guys have any canceled favorites, let me know down in the comments so we can add it to our ever-growing list of TV shows. Alright guys, so that is it. Here is our full face, almost full face with the exception of the under eye concealer of e.l.f. And I am absolutely loving all of their products. They are so inexpensive, and they are just probably one of the best quality makeups that you can get for the price, and their brushes are super awesome. So yeah, I hope that you guys all have a great rest of the week, and I will see you on Wednesday with a healthy recipe. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I will see you all in a couple of days. Bye!